Arkansas Today.
Good afternoon, I'm Mallory Brooks. Thanks for watching Arkansas Today on this Tuesday. Today marks 1 week since former State Senator Linda Collins was found dead outside her home in Northeast Arkansas, sparking a homicide investigation. This morning, friends and colleagues gathered at the state capitol to remember her. Tyler Thomason is live at the state capitol to share what people had to say. Tyler.
Yeah, it was an emotional morning at the state capitol as several people took to the podium to express their love and admiration for former state senator Linda Collins. There were several people who used to work for her who spoke this morning, and several people who used to work with her in the state legislature spoke as well. Friends described Linda as a firecracker, and many of the people who were there were decked out in red, a color that we're told Linda liked to wear. Linda's family was not there this morning, but they did release a statement through spokesperson Ken Yang, which mentioned as much as the family wants to speak about the investigation into Linda's death, they won't be doing that to protect the investigation. Spokesperson Ken Yang got emotional during his time speaking about his working relationship with the former lawmaker.
I said this weekend that this is not the press that I ever thought I would ever be doing. That I woke up this morning just in a panic because I felt I was unprepared. Found it extremely difficult to express my sadness in words or on paper, because these would be the times that Linda would be there for me.
And the entire second floor of the state capitol was filled today for this ceremony, which lasted nearly an hour. And in their statement, Linda's family says that she would want friends and family to be strong during this time. Remember, it was just last Wednesday, the Randolph County Sheriff's Office did release a statement saying that all details and documents of this investigation would remain sealed after a judge's order to keep that sealed regarding this case. And again, state police are leading this investigation as a homicide case. We also do want to mention a temporary memorial has been set up on the first floor of the state capitol here in Little Rock. Live in Little Rock for Arkansas Today, I'm Tyler Thomason. We'll send it back to you.
Tyler, thank you. In Texarkana, Texas, surveillance cameras are being placed at Bringle Lake Park near the dam because of recent vandalism. The area has been a hot spot for vandalism in the past, but recently the city started sprucing up the area, complete with works from local artists.
Social media police really are very, very good at their jobs, and they've so far helped us both times. Anytime we've had any sort of vandalism, both instances, they've helped us catch the people who've come out here, and they've actually allowed us to reach out to those people and invite them to come out and make right what they did wrong.
Police have also increased patrols around the world. Washington County leaders make a proposal on the ongoing debate to solve overcrowding at the Washington County Jail. The Quorum Court's Jails Committee decides to suspend the 3 motions on the table indefinitely. Those motions were a 0.5% sales tax for jail expansion, a 1/4 sales tax to fund maintenance and operation, and an ordinance to hold a special election. At the meeting, there were a lot of conflicting views. The only thing the community could agree on is the current jail facility is a problem.
There's not enough resources to handle more cases, and if you have a bigger jail, you're going to have more cases and more people who are incarcerated.
Our officers, our deputies, our other law enforcement partners throughout Northwest Arkansas, the crimes can be committed, they can investigate, and they can arrest. But if they don't have room in the jail, it really takes the teeth out of the crime fighters' ability to really curb crime.
A motion by Justice of the Peace Ann Harbison was approved. It's to take the issue up to the Budget Committee to explore options for funding a study to solve the overcrowding problem. Kids in Huntsville could have a new place to cool off during the hot summer months. City leaders are in the process of requesting grant money to fund the 1,600 square foot splash pad. Huntsville's mayor says it is in high demand.
I did lunch with the mayor at the elementary school, and I asked the kids, what do you want? And number 1 was Taco Bell. It's coming. 2 was splash pad.
The city of Huntsville will find out if it's approved for phase 1 of the grant process in August. In Bentonville, the city is preparing to expand 2 of its roads, and Monday night they asked for the public's input. The city laid out plans at a public input meeting to widen Water Tower Road and extend 8th Street. This allowed the public to view the plans, meet city transportation staff, and ask questions or voice any concerns about the new plans. Dennis Burge, a transportation engineer for Bentonville, explained what the new plans will be. Any comments or suggestions about the design features are due by June 17th. Happening today, Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, who will become the first Japanese leader to visit Iran in 41 years, had a phone conversation with President Trump. They discussed the situation in the Middle East. Abe plans to meet with the Iranian president. Sources said Abe spoke of his determination to help ease tensions in the region amid intensifying confrontation between the U.S. and Iran over the nuclear deal. President Trump was reportedly hopeful of that visit. And Iran has agreed to hand over a U.S. permanent resident in prison for years in Tehran to Lebanese officials. Nizar Zakam, an internet freedom advocate, is one of a series of prisoners with either dual nationality or links to the West held in Iran. In 2016, Iran sentenced him to 10 years in prison, accusing him of being a U.S. spy, allegations vigorously rejected by his family and associates. Zakam's potential release comes as tensions between Iran and the United States remain high after President Trump withdrew the U.S. from Tehran's nuclear deal with world powers. Let's take a look back at this day in history. 1776, the Continental Congress formed a committee to draft a Declaration of Independence calling for freedom from Britain. In 1962, 3 prisoners at Alcatraz in San Francisco Bay staged an escape, leaving the island on a makeshift raft. They were never heard from or found again.